Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM23 Newton Heath, episode 25. We are going to be wrapping up this season within this episode. We are now down to 7 matches left to play. I was going to change tactics at 8 to go if we still had a 10-point lead, but we lost our match, and the gap came down to 7. But now, the following match, Kidderminster has turned around and lost. They lost to Banbury on the road 2-1. And we won our match and opened it back up to 10-point lead with 7 matches to go, which means we have a better than 3-win cushion with 7 to play. So we are going to start taking control of the team as long as we still maintain a 6+ point lead, and start trying to develop the manager a little bit as best we can here in the later stages of the season. We've also passed the transfer deadline, so I'm not bothering to look for other players as we go on. Harrison Neal, according to the assistant manager, is now the best player on the club, with Lapalabai and Wilson, Shackford, Tanner, Pike, Donasian, Ola, the other best players around. Now, in terms of contracts, I've started signing guys up for next season, those who had deals that expired this year. I still have a handful of players that are not signed up. I have just one guy left that we were looking at when it came to on trial, and we're going to go ahead and terminate that one. That's not happening. But we have our 4 non-contract guys. For now, I'm keeping them around. Kenlock is becoming a little bit of an issue, so he might be released here at some stage. But Matty Jacob has an expiring contract. We're going to let him go. Chadwick, expiring. We're going to let him go. Tanamowo, we are letting him go at the end of the season. And that leaves me now with 4 players left who have expiring contracts that I'm still deciding on. Whitehall and Hammond. Hammond is the better of the two and has been playing a lot more. They have very similar contracts. Whitehall is liked a bit more than Hammond, but Hammond, in terms of potential, they're roughly the same age. Might hang on to one, but probably not both. But then Cashman hasn't done much. I mean, he's just been okay. Nothing fantastic. Ollie Tanner has been playing well, though I don't regularly select him. I think he's going to be getting a new contract, new 1 year added on here relatively soon. I mean, we might as well, even if he just ends up being a backup. He has done pretty well this season. Oh, geez, yeah, 19 assists. He leads the league. Right. Let's get on with a new contract for Tanner, for sure. We'll see if we can get him accepted as a squad player, and he does. That's going to be the big key. 43K is what the assistant manager is thinking we should offer. Let's lower that just a little bit. Same with the appearance fee, but otherwise we'll gonna take what they accept. Oh, he was not a fan of that one. Close to what he's asking. Yeah, he's not gonna be too happy if we try to negotiate much. 57's fine, especially with our budget. When it comes to staff, a lot of them have been hired this year. A lot of them were hired in previous years. The ones previous are still amateur contracts on month to month. Getting them switched over to full-time will definitely help us with our training, though. We may have to stick around. We might have to do something with that here at some stage. But I like not having to pay them. But the full-time contracts, a lot of these are set to expire this year, so I will need to kind of get in there and make sure we hang on to them, or we'll be looking for better ones as we rise up to a higher level. On the road at St. Albans, one of the better teams in the league. They currently sit 7th, and being that we are on the road, I figured it was better to manage the side myself as opposed to use that quick instant result button that is going to see the worst of our attributes be the defining trait for us entering that one. That could go pretty poorly. And meanwhile, Kidderminster, obviously the only team that we need to worry about at this stage of the season. Kidderminster is at home for their match. They are also playing a difficult match, though, against the 5th place side. So, there's a chance. But they're at home. We're on the road. I'm not going to take our chances of sitting back on this one. So we manage it firsthand. After a lighter schedule over the last month, we finally are seeing a lot of guys healthy. We're not seeing too many out for things like yellow card accumulation. And therefore, we have a decent selection right now compared to, what we've had a lot of times. Ford intercepts that one and sets up Ola, but Ola bends that one but can't quite get it on target. I think keeper had it covered anyway. Keeper was on the left-hand edge where he was set up in the first place. Tanner, dangerous tackle, but makes it cleanly. But they hang on to it. Pass gets through. Danasian clears it away, though, and Walker holds up the ball well. And they've had their first 2 shots now with 20 minutes played. But we've been looking fairly strong otherwise. But this could be a chance. Hutchinson looked offside, but no flag raised. Killip makes a save anyway. He might have timed that run, apparently to perfection. But Ford gets behind the defense after the clearance was failed. They tried to rise up for that header, but couldn't get up high enough. And then Ford gets on the end of it. We get the corner kick and head that one over for the goal kick. Donsian recovering the ball. Ola starts the counter the other way. Finds Walker, who sets up Tanner. Tanner brings it into the box. Takes it himself. That is deflected off the fullback and out for another corner. Hammond now. Another corner. We are using the attacking tactic today mentality. Try to get out there and create offense as Walker, not quite sure what it was he was trying to do there, but he did lose that one. I see it. Good pace to recover. Wilson finds Pike. Pike out to Tanner. Tanner pulls back though, finds Hammond. Switches to Neal. Back to Hammond again now that he's got some space, and now Tanner taking the sideline. Sets up Pike. Pike over the top. Boy, if we go straight to that ball, Ford probably is going to get there first before the keeper. Hutchinson, that's definitely onside that time. No flag. Oof, just wide. They win that header. Ford loses it. Give it up in a dangerous position. That's going to lead to a corner kick. Murray stepping up to take this one. We played half an hour. Killip rises up, grabs that. Gosh, it will not give me time to make that tactical change on the always press, whoever that is. Hammond gets Neal over the top. Ola onside, deflected. And that's cleared away. There we go. Finally gives me enough time to make 2 tactical changes. Ola. That's deflected, but Neal gets it, and that's deflected as well. A lot of corner kicks here in this first half, but no clear-cut chances. Tunnicliffe now on a yellow card. Means he will not play the entirety of this game. He came in with a pretty bad attitude. He has not been first choice. Pierre has been first choice above him from the assistant manager, even though they are very, very similar players. So Tunnicliffe has been pretty upset, but he's playing poorly and carrying a yellow card. He's got attitude by not getting selected, so what can I do? Walker, Neal, inside to Tunnicliffe. Finds Ford inside. He gets a leg, a foot coming in from behind, catches him in the back of the leg, and that sets up a penalty, and Walker converts. It's 1-0. Deserved lead just before halftime, but that is going to alter what happens in the second half. I'd rather have it be 45th minute on the other side of halftime, because now they can go talk about what just happened. Already 1.59, so we already had just about 1.0. Second half underway. Tunnicliffe is, I'm going to give him about 10 more minutes and then bring him off. Neal in some space, progressive pass, but too strong. Ooh, what a pass from the keeper. If that was on target, I think Killip has that covered, but that one is out for the goal kick. Donasian, long ball over the top for Walker, but too far out in front again. Tunnicliffe clears. Wilson, now Tanner in possession. Donasian. Not a very good ball from Tunnicliffe. Oh, Ford. But that should have been in the back of the net. Keeper makes a pretty decent stop there. Ola out to Hammond. Hammond hangs onto that way too long. Turns his back on it, even though he still had 10 yards before that guy was reaching him. Had plenty of time to make a play. Nice idea there, but Ola can't get to it first. Good interception. Ford all the way out to Ola. Ola lays it off for Donasian. Nice ball for Hammond. Hammond, great ball for Ola, and Ola into the edge of the box. Lays it off for Donasian. Takes his time. Takes a dribble. He took a touch to bring it in a little bit closer before taking that shot. I like to see that. Last episode, I definitely talked about how we didn't do that under numerous chances. We're going to bring Pierre on for Tunnicliffe now. That yellow card, bring him out of there. Nice cutout from Wilson. Nice from Donasian. Walker does not win the header, but we get a few chances at it as they couldn't clear it out. Tanner brings it inside. Walker lays it off for Hammond. Thought that was in the back of the net at first, but we just missed that one. Just wide. Pike, free kick. Hammond. He's going to turn, but Hyde loses it, but Hammond recovers it. Wilson out to Pike. Pike over to Tanner. Tanner cuts inside. Finds Walker. Walker turns. Finds Pike again. Pike inside to Ford and off the inside of the post. And there is a 2-0 lead. And that should put us now comfortably ahead. Pike is a bit tired and not having a great day. We might look to sub him off here. But Pike cuts inside. Definitely onside for Ford. And nothing keeper can do. Defense seemingly trying to hold a high line there. But meanwhile, Pike is driving behind them. And they needed to be dropping with him. Pike over the top on that one. That's turned over. Pike's ratings just got much better after picking up the assist. But he is a little tired, so we might sub him anyway. Ford finds Walker. Walker might have been offside there. It's deflected. No flag. Out for a corner. I don't know why Wilson's apparently having a bad day. Tanner offside. I didn't see the AR raise the flag, but the main ref certainly caught it. Called it. Okay, a tired Pike. What do we have? What do we have? We have Leston Hughes. Hughes coming on. That one scrapes off the crossbar. It was heading out for a goal kick, but then it hits the crossbar and comes back into play without fully going out. Wilson. Hammond. Now Neal. In space. Donasian. Back to Killup. Possessing well. 78th minute. 2-goal lead. Let's go balance. Let's start getting behind the ball a little bit here. 2-goal leads can be very dangerous. Neal over the top for Ola. Ola into the box. He's going to lay it off for Donasian. Finds Neal inside, who blasts it when he should have been attacking the box. He's got two guys that are going to collapse on him, but at that point, you either lay it off or you draw the penalty. Wilson clears that one. Bradbury over the top. Wilson gets there first. How does Wilson not have a better rating? I do not understand. He's playing very well. He's been doing this all game. That looked offside, but no flag. Now it comes up a bit late there. Yeah, almost 10 yards offside. And into stoppage. This should do it. Hammond gets back, makes a second play on that one, and a third play to eventually get the ball back. Walker, he's through on goal. Chance to seal this thing and does not. Keeper makes a nice stop. Two defenders collapsing in on him. Walker couldn't really take an extra touch. He had to shoot from there. But keeper got big. Got big enough. 2-0. The victory. Dang. Comfortable in the end. And a little surprising considering how good they were as opposition. Now with 6 to play, Kidderminster has maintained the gap after they come away with the 3-1 victory over Scarborough Athletic. So 10-point gap plus goal differential with 6 to play. Our youth intakes will start getting better, but it's going to take some time. It's going to still take some additional levels from what we have. And I don't know when we're ever going to have a youth player good enough as we are climbing the ladder relatively quick, but we certainly want to try to get a very good youth setup. We still don't have it, even though we've made improvements. And so this intake is pretty dang poor, but it's not as bad as what we had the first couple of years. We've got 3 potential players. I'll probably go ahead and offer those 3 a contract regardless, because I'd like to have somebody in our U18s that's young, as we really don't have anything. We have a couple of 17-year-olds that are going to age out. I have a bunch of guys that are 18 or 19 already that aren't going to be good enough as we go forward. So I'm going to be releasing all but a couple, and those are the couple that we're hanging on to are goalkeepers anyway, young goalkeepers. So these 3 I'll go ahead and offer just because, and I don't care whether they're actually good or not. They at least have some potential. On a youth contract, it pays almost nothing anyway, so not a problem. Now 6 to play, and the next 3 matches should be wins, all 3 of them. Let's see if that instant result will happen. Can we make it happen without myself managing the side? Not a great one, but it is 2-0 over Leamington. We do enough. A penalty helping just before halftime, so similar to, that's like 2 in a row. Kidderminster also gets their result, so we maintain a 10-point advantage. Now 29 ahead of Buxton. And 5 to play. And like I said, those next 2 should also be wins, hopefully. Gloucester on the road has not gone terribly well. Just a draw for us, and our lead is down to 8 points with 4 to play. It's definitely not looking like the previous matches, but playing weaker opposition, we're doing just enough to kind of squeak by right now. Though, you look at the match stats, it was 21-2 on shots. We never looked like losing. We just didn't attack as well as we normally would. Pike picks up the assist on the Ola score, but it is enough. And now with an 8-point lead and 3 matches to play, 1 more result will secure the title. 2 of the last 3 matches were pretty winnable, so I felt confident that, hey, come on, we're going to get at least 1 result, and we do. We've beaten Blythe on the road 2-1. Shackford and Tyler Walker scoring, Walker coming off the bench to get that goal on this one. And yeah, we've done it. That is a league championship with 2 to play. 34, 4, and 6 with a plus 81. 106 points already, so we've already topped 100 with 2 matches to go. I'm going to try to get some of our younger guys that are on next year's roster a little playing time in these last 2, if possible. Initial payroll for next year is $11.5 million and a transfer budget of $18 million. They are thrilled with where the finances are and ready to pour a lot into the club. Ola and Shackford had been injured. We, for Ola, had 2 injections to play the last 2 matches for just the last match, but we're going to go ahead and let them sit out the rest of the season now and heal from their injuries. Now that we have the title secured, we don't need to risk anything further. Now that we've secured promotion and have $33 million in the bank, it's time to push that board again here in late April. We're going to try to increase youth level of the facilities a second time. We can't get the youth recruitment up until we have a better reputation, so it seems, but it does seem like the other things can happen. They have accepted. Okay, so our youth level is going from category 0 to category 4. Wow, that's a huge jump. I think there's 6 categories. Are there not? That's massive. Realized I didn't really have a lot of depth to just switch the whole roster up, but with those 2 guys who previously were given shots, there was a couple changes to the roster right there. We dominate Hemel Hempstead, but don't come away with a victory, unable to score a goal. It really does show just how poor stat-wise we are as a manager, and how we just can't seem to get the team motivated or make the breakthrough. I mean, we're clearly stronger. Even at home, we can't come away with the win. That was our last home game of the season. So financially, we're going to be kind of set now for the summer. But we have plenty of money heading into the next year and into the 5th tier. Final match of the season finishes with a 3-0 victory, including a Chadwick penalty and a stoppage time third goal. All 3 goals came after the hour mark, and Chadwick came in off the bench because Ola was cleared to play for about 75 minutes, but not for the entirety of the game. I don't know what time he would have officially subbed in at, but it would have been relatively late. So Chadwick coming off the bench doing really well in his final appearance and winning man of the match. That also gives us our final tally on the season with all 46 matches played for all teams. Of course, there are still promotion playoffs to be had for those behind us in the standings, but here is the final league standings with us taking a 110-point league victory and a plus 84 goal differential, though quite clearly that final 7 matches, we were nowhere near as good as we had been earlier stages. In the beginning of the season, when I was doing the same thing, the 2 weakest stretches that we had were when I was doing the instant results, when I went out and managed the team myself, or when the assistant manager managed the team. We tended to do just fine, but when we used our stat block alone and got the instant result with us being the one at the helm, it was clear that the team was just not as good. Kidderminster, comfortable second place, heavy favorite to gain the promotion through the playoff, but Scarborough Athletic, Brackley, Spennymoor, Buxton, and Darlington will look to take that spot instead. All 77 points plus means they had decent seasons. Oxford City, who we beat in the last game of the season, finished on 72 points. Looks like they were out of reach anyway, but 6-point swing at the end there. Darlington had 74. Buxton had 74. They did have a chance on that last day, but they needed help. Us beating them did not make a difference, though. St. Albans, Chester, Banbury, AFC Telford, Blythe, kind of rounding out the mid-table, and then you start to get down to Gloucester, FC United, Kings Lynn, Hereford, Hemel Hempstead, Leamington, and Farsley only just escaping relegation. Kettering Town will be very disappointed as they only had a minus 10 goal differential, better than the 4 clubs slated above them in the standings, but they get relegated anyway, and they need a market. Peterborough Sports and Hednesford also see relegation this season. Needham Market was one of those just promoted sides, and they lost 5 straight down the stretch. Looks like they had a chance till fairly late. They were equal on points, at least with Kettering, with 5 to go, and Kettering themselves only managed 6 points in those final 5, but they tried. Wasn't enough. The South has also finished their regular season. Havant and Waterlooville takes the title by a single goal over Dorking. They finished on the same points, plus 34, plus 33. Maidstone also just a win behind that, and a 1 goal further Aldershot at 31. Amazing that a single goal separating each of the top 4 as you one by one. Eastbourne Borough, Dulwich Hamlet, and Wealdstone round out the promotion playoff spots. Dover, of course, Dover with their famous collapse and minus 80,000 points in real life a year ago, so a handful of years now in here. Hampton and Richmond, Folkestone, what did they finish the year with? 1 point after overcoming the deficit that they started the year with. Weymouth, we lost to, right? They rebounded to get to 11th. Chippenham, Maidenhead, Chelmsford, unknown to me, Margate finished 16th. Hornchurch, 15th. They have a couple different teams than what you're used to seeing. The relegation side, the first relegated team, Concord, losing on goal differential, so Slough hangs on by just mere goal differential. They had the identical last 5 as well, so no change in position over that stretch, unless goal differential may have mattered in the 3 losses that they each took. Dorchester, Tiverton, and Truro, the other relegated sides. On to our end of season review, beginning with Shaq Ford, who made 52 appearances, scoring 27 goals and having 9 assists and essentially a 7.5 rating. Cashman did pretty good, but he barely played. Tanner was very solid with 21 assists. Ola had a good season, 13 and 13. Pierre with 35 starts, 7.34. Walker, 48 goals. Big signing he turned out to be. I was nervous about him at the beginning of the season, and he didn't perform terribly well for me, but for the assistant manager, man oh man, did he unlock him. Matty Lund turned out to be somebody who was injured all the time. He'd come back from injury, and 2 weeks later he'd be down with another injury. He'd come back, and a week later be down with another injury. We'll see what those numbers are like here as we proceed to other screens. But Harrison Neal had a good season. Paulo Bai was good, not great, but he definitely was good. Pike did fine. It's the first time we've had a fullback with a positive, better than 7.0 rating. Whitehall didn't play a lot. Hughes got a decent amount of appearances. Donisian did well since coming over. Did not manage to get the 7+. Just 1 goal, 1 assist for him was all on the season. Tunnicliffe didn't play a lot. Didn't play particularly well when he did play. Josh Lane, who left us for Blythe, had 36 appearances, and Jordan Holm went to Hyde. Those two playing the most of the teams that left us this year, or the players that left us, that is. Team of the season looks like this. I didn't play Tanner on that right-hand side. He was not my top pick, but he was the assistant managers and did quite well. Dickinson ended up being the main guy playing on the left side, even though he was nowhere near the best player at that position. Fans player of the season was Charlie Wilson, also young player of the season. Signing of the season was Shaq Ford. Looking at the timeline for just this season, we have, big signings were a big part, but the defeat of Oldham is on our timeline, so that's a big key moment in our history. And then Walker's 48 goals. 3 seasons in, here is the club's best 11. Killip with 72 appearances. The man in goal, Parrott, seen as the best right fullback, surprising that one. But Wilson, Sams at center back, and Dickinson, and then Hammond, Hugill, who we definitely missed. That was not one that I lost on purpose, as he was taken away from us. Non-contract kind of guy, or amateur contract kind of guy. Ebanks still on top at that right wing. I don't know how long he'll stay there, but his 15 goals and 87 appearances look pretty dang good. Shaq Ford has already made it as the top attacking mid, and then Ola already in at the left wing spot, with Tyler Walker already seen his best man with just 1 season under his belt. Clayton, 2 starts more than Killip so far, so those 2 guys have amounted for nearly all of our starts in goal over the 3 seasons. Club goal scoring record holder Lee Novak with 62 appearances and 50 goals. Walker is just too shy of that. New board objectives and in negotiation potentially for this one. They want us to sign under 23s. They want us to make sure we sign players under the age of 30 and play entertaining soccer. I'm okay with all of those. Grow the club's reputation. Of course we want that, and that's going to happen regardless. No matter how bad we play, it's going to continue to go up as we play in higher and higher levels. Work within payroll budget. Not a problem. Our payroll budget is massive, and we are going to be nowhere near it again next season, though to spend more and more. They are looking for us to get promotion to League 2 within 3 years. I think they want us to make the playoffs next year, but it looks like they're not showing that one now. They just want us to do it within 3 years, which actually makes our objectives fairly easy, as I think there's a chance we might do it next year, or certainly by the year after. Let's go with the make the playoffs and see how the players feel about it, and they're pretty happy about that. That's good. There's that confirmation that Matty Lund missed nearly 50% of the season, a total of 4 injuries, with the longest one leaving him out for 3 months. And the training facility upgrade is done just after the season has ended, so we have another upgrade. This is really good. We are making such rapid progress. First full year with the stadium, and the tax bill is rather large at almost 6 million, but that's okay because that's a minor hit compared to how much money we have. I'm going to go ahead and adjust our scouting range to England wide. Now this is going to give us a look at a lot more players than just Vanarama North South. Come next season at 106K with a scouting budget of 450K. It's not that much. It's not that hard of a hit. Kidderminster have comfortably won the promotion playoff each round, the semis and the final itself, winning by multiple goals. So they are the other team besides us gaining promotion from the north. In the National League, Bromley has claimed victory with goal differential being the advantage over Swindon, but Swindon Town managed to win the promotion playoff to also get promoted alongside them, with Ebbsfleet, Oldham, Worthing, and Tamworth all going down. League Two has not quite finished their season yet, with the promotion playoffs still ongoing down to the final four, but Portsmouth, Wrexham, and Crewe all heading up. Wrexham finishing second in League Two, so they are on their way to League One already. Not a big surprise there by any stretch of the imagination. Well supported club. Tranmere, Doncaster, just missing or already losing promotion playoffs. I don't know if they only have 4 for theirs. They might only have 4 for theirs, considering there's already 3 promoted sides. But it's Solihull, Moors, and Carlisle that are coming down to join us in the Vanarama National League. So National League proper, Tier 5 is where we're headed next, and it is the first division. For those not terribly familiar with the English pyramid, it's the first division where it's alone. There is no second, right? We had the North and the South. We had 2 divisions. We didn't play against the South, but it was the same level. Beginning Tier 5 and all the way up through the Premier League, those 5 tiers, there's just those 5 divisions themselves. There is no alternative split divisions or anything like that. So it's the first time that happens, and everything below the 6th tier has many divisions. League One down to its 2 final teams, with Salford having a chance to go up, but Peterborough, Rotherham already gaining automatic promotion. Reading going to be very disappointed. They finished level on points with both of the first 2 teams, and then they lose in the semifinals of the promotion playoff. Wickham is the other one, still with a chance to go up, while Shrewsbury, Bristol Rovers, Leyton Orient, and Exeter have seen relegation this season. In the championship, relegated are Bolton, Lincoln, and Hull. Hull City's going to be really disappointed with that one. But then QPR, West Brom, Crystal Palace, and Cardiff City all still in the promotion playoffs, while Burnley and Norwich league champions and heading back to the Premier League. Meanwhile, in the Premier League, they have a single match left to play, so it's not decided just yet. Man City have not won the title, though look, favorites. They've got goal differential and a couple point advantage over Manchester United. So the 2 Manchester clubs are right on top of the league, with Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, Aston Villa, and Arsenal top 7. Newcastle would be disappointed to miss out on the top 7. Wolves some ways behind, along with Fulham, West Ham, Bournemouth, Everton, Southampton, all separated by just 3 points. Brentford a couple further back, and then Brighton and Leicester just escaping the drop, while Leeds United, Nottingham Forest, and Blackburn have all been relegated already with 1 match left to play. Walker has won the League Player of the Year award, 45 goals on 46 appearances, almost won. N'Golo Kanté with an extra time winner for Chelsea over Manchester United in the FA Cup final. With the league also now complete, Manchester City has recovered their title after 3 straight. They lost it in the 23-24 season to Liverpool, so those 2 have exchanged. They've held every title since Leicester's won it in 15-16. United comes close, but 2 points is still 2 points, still a loss. And no change except Aston Villa falls to 7th. and Arsenal overtakes them for 6th place. On the surface, we are now seen as a 1.5-star trading facility, so that's coming up. That's going the right direction. We have 32 million after paying those taxes. Media prediction apparently is 3rd come next season. Or is that still? No, it's still showing us as north. But here is that giant reputation gain following our title. We now have a reputation of 798. Still way short of where we need to be with that 1,500 to 2,500 just for the 6th tier. But that's a massive jump in that. And if we were to turn around and win the title again, come this next season, it would be, even better. In those facilities, we're now looking at training facilities at a 6, so that's +2 from where it was. Junior coaching is up to a 10 from a 1, and it was 6 most recently. That youth recruitment is really still the only one that is holding out and well below where we've made gains from 1s to 6, 4, 10 in 3 out of 4 categories. Corporate facilities was always a 10. That's going to do it for this episode and for season number 3, season 3 in the books. And we have seen promotion. It only took us 3 years to go from a total unknown just being introduced, and we not only survive that first season but end up fairly comfortable. We get close to promotion in season number 2, and we absolutely crush the field in season number 3 with really only one other team offering much of a challenge at all. But now we head on to the National League, which is known as the hardest league to get out of. Can we do it in one season, or will it take a couple? We'll find out. I think part of that's going to have to do with how much interaction I have with the squad. But I do think it might take us a couple years to get out of the 5th tier, just based on how challenging it is to get out of that 5th tier. It can take a really long time for clubs. I'm a Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.